All right, folks, Saturday, June 3rd, the place, the time to be is now 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get it started here on the right side of campus for Saturday. Huge card coming up here in Major League Baseball. Have some hockey to talk about, so to speak. We'll touch on some NBA action. The big man's going to end the show today with some football pitch action that you're not going to want to miss out on. But as I said, we have a big day today here for us. Big man, how's it going today? Excited for the weekend, buddy?
Doing good, Donnie. Yeah, interesting day today. We have I have my first 2-unit play, Donnie, of the season in baseball, which, if you know me, I don't go above 1 unit really ever. So I'm looking to get back on the winning side. I had a loss last night to open the month. But, yeah, Donnie, a lot to do. Baseball, NBA Finals tomorrow, Champions League Final today. I'm a Juventus supporter, Donnie. I have a 10-1 future on Juventus. So I'm very excited for the game today. I'm looking forward to it. A lot to do today.
Yeah, no, I've heard you talking about that all season long, through the Champions League and everything. So it's going to be a fun finish up there for you. Hopefully you can cash in on that 10-1 wager. Looking back last night, I mean, again, if you follow me and Jeff on Twitter, we're live throughout the games. Doesn't even matter if we have any action on any games. Won my game yesterday in Toronto with an over 7-5 with the Yankees and the Blue Jays. But again, Jeff, I joke about this a lot, but I think it really takes years off my life. Can you tell me, Jeff, how it was a 7-5 score and 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position in Toronto yesterday?
Yeah, that was the thing, Donnie. We talked about that last night, Peter and I. I had the Yankees, which I know you and I talked about, they're coming back, blah, 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 blah. But the problem was the Yankees just couldn't get a lead. I mean, they scored 2 runs and give up 1. They scored 2 runs, give up 1. And, Donnie, you talked about it. The runners in scoring position was the doom of the Yankees last night. But, yeah, it's weird. I mean, that's what happens when you hit a lot of home runs, I guess. But, the Yankees kind of saved it late. I mean, they made a charge, and the bullpen just couldn't get a lead. So those two things go hand in hand. You always like that when you have an over, when the team coming back, starting to come back, but they just can't come back because they're giving up too many runs. So, that's a good catch by you. I mentioned to you, I'm not going to be as heavy on overs going forward, but yeah, that was a good one last night for sure.
No, and how about, Jeff, if you're back in the Yankees last night, Liriano, you don't really know what you're going to get from him. Russell Martin, his, ace in the hole, which he loves to have catch and get scratched before the game. The one thing you can bank on, the lead off, I don't even want to call it a triple, is obviously an error, but Brett Gardner goes to third. And you're saying right now, Jeff, if you have the Yankees as a side, tack one on right here. Forget about even the sac fly. Give me one more base hit. Let's open the flood doors. Liriano, we don't know what we're going to get from him. And they go 0 for 3 right off the bat with the runner on third for you.
I knew right away. Like when he hit that triple and they didn't get him in, then in the bottom 1, Michael Pineda does his normal, can't get anyone out in the first inning. I knew right then. I knew it was going to be. And I'm going to tell you right now, Donnie, this is a point I want to make. I love the Yankees. I have since I was a kid. But I can't fucking pick my nose when I bet on them. Every game I picked them in this year, I've lost. The first game of the year, Donnie, I bet on Tanaka against the Rays. Loser. Bet him last week against the Orioles. Loser. Bet him last night. Loser. It's just a growing thing. I got to stop backing my team. I don't back the Eagles. I got to stop backing the Yankees. But, Donnie, I want to shout at the listeners. We are 4 minutes into the show, already 71 people live, and that is 74 now. Thank you to all of you. We love doing this. We appreciate all the chit-chat on the chat box. We're going to get to everything today. If you're on the show, give us a like. We'd appreciate it. We continue to want to put out this great information. But I got to tell you, Donnie, if we don't get the listeners, I got a feeling we're not going to be on too long. I do want to also point out, Donnie, we see your name. We see Donnie's name. We now know he's Donnie Rightside. So,
exactly. I mean, you see the graphics up there. Look, like all the money that they're finally pouring into the show, Jeff. We've been waiting a long time for this.
Yeah, I gotta get my name up there. I'm the only hack without a name. By the way, Justin, nice spell check there on the title. Cavs-Warriros. Game 2.
Hey, there you go. It's perfect, man. Maybe somebody hashtag him Warriros. You know what I mean?
It's going to go trending. Get Warriros trending. Let's jump into the card.
That's a good catch by you. I didn't even see that down there. That's pretty good. But anyway, folks, again, if you haven't checked us out on Twitter, follow me at RightSideVP. Follow the big man at Jeff Nadu. Also at SBR Sports Picks, SBRodds.com. We do it all. Jeff, big card, big show. I don't really think we even have a time limit today. So what do you say we get started, buddy?
Let's jump into it. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Let's go. Starting off the day for us, we'll get to – I know there's a 1 o'clock game that's going to be starting with the Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays.
You want to just bang that out right away, Donnie? and we'll
We
go
can get
back.
that. I was going to say we could probably get to it in time, but we
Okay.
can certainly get 1 second here. All right,
Let's just do that, and then we'll go through the rotation. Might as well get
let's wipe it right out here. So first we'll go with rotation 9:15, 9:16, an early start up there, 107. That's going to be Montgomery and Biagini. 6,800 tickets, Jeff, already tracked on this game. 58% are backing the road team here with the New York Yankees with 59% of the money. So a decent split there. Total opened up, Jeff, at 9.5. I'm seeing pretty much 9 across the board in this one as the way of a side. Minus 123 for Biagini. Skyrocketing, Jeff, up to minus 150 here on 5 dimes. If we take a look at some of the particulars, last night you saw the game, how it went 7-5. Early jump out for the Toronto Blue Jays. Almost back, I guess you would say back-to-back 2-run home runs, if that makes sense. They'd draw it to 5-4, but they couldn't really get too much closer. Montgomery through 9 starts in American League play, 4.11 ERA. Biagini, 2 home starts, Jeff, been pretty good, 1.64. Solid so far outside of that 1 start, Jeff. When he traveled down to Atlanta, got touched up a little bit. Yankees 13-8 after a loss. Toronto, I know they've been struggling. Everybody coming back here is 3-8 overall with left-handed pitching here, Jeff.
Yeah, the problem with Biagini, and I do like Biagini, the problem is he does not go deep in the games. 4 2/3. That's what he's doing.
Bullpen guy. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to give you maybe 5 innings, and that's going to be it. And look, you look at the Toronto Blue Jays at home. Bullpen's not particularly good. I mean, they gave up runs last night. They're not going to be a shutdown bullpen. That's just not what they do. Plus, you're taking an arm out of it with Biagini. So, again, when you're looking at overs, especially right now with the way the Yankees kind of just continue to hit, they're going to put up 5 runs a game. That's kind of what this team does at this point. You look at the Blue Jays, they've been murdering the ball lately as well. Last 7 games, a 320 average. So, again, I mean, you got to be interested in that. Both these teams, top 8, Donnie, in home runs per game. All 5 games have gone over this year between these 2 clubs in the Rogers Center. You never know as far as – I remember last night, Donnie, Kevin Pillar, the way he handled that Brett Gardner triple. You just never know the way the ball's going to bounce there. Jordan Montgomery is a guy that I guess, he's got to work with, deep counts. He's going too deep into counts, and that's something he'll get better with over the course of his career. He's been pretty good though so far. I just think we see some runs here similar to maybe to last night. I think we see more effective runners in scoring position, that kind of thing. And you look at that lineup for Toronto, all of a sudden looks pretty good. Yankees, their lineup looks pretty good. I do like the move clearly that Joe Girardi made, putting Aaron Holiday behind Aaron Judge. It's been a total 180. You look at last night, Judge gets on, Matt Holiday gets him in. I mean, that's kind of what you need there. It's interesting, Donnie, what moving Chase Headley down in the lineup, what that's going to do for like the 1 through 6. But I would go over here if I had to play it at 9. It just seems like a 6-4 type of game, something like that. But it's not going to be on my card, I don't think.
Yeah, you know what I liked about the game last night? Aaron Judge moving into that 3-hole. You saw the evolution of a young player, which a lot of times you don't see. First at bat, what does he do, Jeff? Runners in scoring position, strikes out. Second at bat, works a full count, gets a walk. Third at bat, puts one about 450 feet into the upper deck. That's pretty impressive for a young kid.
Oh, no, it is. I mean, he's got tremendous power. I mean, I think we all know that. And he's really kind of been – well, he's been the unsung hero for this team. I mean, without him, where would they be? And, a good point. I mean, Biagini at 150 does seem kind of high. I mean, we also discussed that this is going to be a bullpen game. I mean, look, going to my head, I take the Yankees just because, of the line, but I'm not really interested in the side. I guess a slight lean to the over here.
Yeah, tough one on that. I mean, we go over, the struggles that Toronto has with left-handed pitching. But again, that's without, extended period of time with Russell Martin, extended period with Donaldson out, and also Tulowitzki. So we'll see if that comes back into play for us. But yeah, I don't agree with paying that much for Biagini, even though maybe a first 5 might be a little bit better of a wager, because I do think the Yankees' overall strength of the bullpen when they're, not in a blowout situation is a little bit better at Toronto. But again, I don't have much on that game there.
And the Blue Jays went through a lot of relievers last night. I mean, they went through 5 relievers last night. Gave up 3 runs. So again, I mean, if this is a bullpen game, which I think it will be, you're going to get 150 with the Yankees, 140 with the Yankees. I could see it. I mean, as long as Montgomery doesn't put you in too much of a hole. Maybe second half for the Yankees. If you're a second half better, maybe that's your play here. I could see it.
You got it. We'll keep it moving here on the docket, but that's the early game, so we got that one out of the way. Hopefully maybe some of that information helped you out there. But again, not too much there on the side, but it's hard to back it under with the Toronto and the Yankees, the way they can mash with those lineups. Let's get right into the top of the rotation here, Jeff. 901, 902, that's going to be Delgado and Volquez, Arizona and Miami. Only 2,200 tickets have been tracked on this one. It's an late afternoon ball game. 71%. However, those early ticket trackings, Jeff, coming back here on the Diamondbacks. Total opened up at 8.5, pretty much 8.5 across the board. Small favorite to Edinson Volquez at -115. Looks like 5 dimes is up to 117 in this factor. Taking a look at the game itself, Delgado through 2 starts, Jeff, very good, 1.86 ERA. Volquez 4 home starts, been okay, 3.43 ERA. Arizona on the road, we all know the struggles they have, 13-15. But Miami, after a win, not exactly a run and high team, only 8-13, rebounding off a winning situation. Not much on this game from me. I'd like to see a little bit more from Delgado. I know it's kind of Jekyll and Hyde with what you get from the bats with Arizona last night, high-scoring ball game. Do we get the same thing today down there, Jeff?
Yeah, real quick, the Giants love affair on the chat box is making me sick. I mean, there's about 3 or 4 guys in here that just come in here with this Giants rhetoric. Fuck the Giants. We're Eagles fans here, all right? You can talk about your team, but remember, Donnie and I are Eagle fans. About this game, I wonder what we'll get with Delgado. He's actually been good, Donnie, but Randall Delgado comes across to me as a guy that just as soon as we start believing him a little bit, he'll give up 4 or 5 runs here. And look, I mean, you look at the 2 teams he's faced. I think he's faced the White Sox and someone else. I mean, not particularly good teams. I'm going to get the exact teams who he faced. But, obviously a little bit better lineup here, guys that can definitely mash. He's faced Pittsburgh and the White Sox. So not exactly offensive juggernauts. This is going to be a much better offense on the road. But look, I mean, he's been good so far. He's probably not a guy, though, that will go deep into the game. You look at his starts, he's only going 4 2/3. So you're going to need a nice outing from their bullpen tonight. Betting on them is kind of a little bit of a tough. So both these games, Donnie, you're going to probably see, bullpens early. In the first game we talked about and this one. But Volquez has had issues. He's lost 8. They've lost 8 of 10 when Volquez pitches. Arizona murders right-handed pitching. Not crazy about them on the road, especially with Delgado. But if I had to bet it, I would go with the Diamondbacks. But I'm not crazy about this game either. Yeah,
one of the interesting stats that you always like to look at, Jeff, I do as well. Bill Miller, a career over umpire, 221 and 177. So that could be a factor behind the plate. Maybe, pitchers get squeezed a little bit, some good hitting offense. You might get that total or even take a look at that. But always one of those outlying situations that, does make some sense when you get some guy behind the plate who tends to go over more than under here.
Yeah. This is just a weird game. One thing I will say, I mean, Diamondback pitching has been very good. Opponents are only hitting 234 against this club. Shout out to everyone on the chat box: Bobby, Thomarino, Vitalis, Jim Bean, Isan, Iceman, HotCapper.com, Justin Pauls, Lauren, Skooma Steve, Iceman, Zach Sosana. SBR's having issues or glitches with SBR content. Might just be your computer, my friend. Maybe try it on a different browser.
I think it means the contest, maybe.
Oh, the contest. I got you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I just glotted over. Devin Wade, what's up? There was a funny comment here that I wanted to talk about quickly. Tim S. Games aside, will you please give us a logical answer to who the fuck Jimmy the Bag is and why he's on SBR? Jimmy Bag is, I think, kind of funny in a way. I know some content can be maybe annoying to people. Let's give him a shot, see how he does. Mike Brenner was not funny, but people thought he was. So, again, we all know where I stand on Mike Brenner. I'm not going to make this a Mike Brenner hour. But, again, we'll see what happens. I mean, we got to give new guys a chance, Donnie, right? We gave Donnie Rightside a chance, and he turned out to be just great. So, hey, you never know. Obviously, it might be a little different shtick than we're used to here at SBR. But, guys, let's let our hair down a little bit. I think sometimes I even myself get made fun of once in a while just because of my personality. The guy has an interesting personality. Let's give him a chance. Let's see how he does. His thing was funny initially. We'll see how it goes. Donnie, let's jump into the next one.
Yes, as I'm going to say on that, it took me 40 years to be an overnight sensation. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
and let everybody get after it. Next game up on the rotation, Jeff. Let's go. 9:03, 9:04, early afternoon ball game, 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Mike Leake and Lester on the mound for us. 35% of the tickets backing the road team here with the St. Louis Cardinals. Low-scoring affair yesterday. in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Line opened up here. Looks like minus 160, sticking in that same territory, Jeff. Sportsbook.com, minus 159. 5 dimes, minus 159. Totals across the board. Looks like you're probably going to be rounding out with 8.5. They always like to hold those back, but don't think there's too many wind conditions here that we're going to have to worry about in the windy city, I should say, of Chicago. League last 10 starts. I still always check this and double check this, Jeff. 2.24 ERA, 4 road starts, 1.93 ERA. I mean, what the hell year is this? Lester, 6 home starts, 1.80 ERA. So 2 guys not giving up a lot here, pitching on the mound today. Battle in this Central Division, 26-26 overall for the Cardinals. Chicago Cubs, 26-27. 2 teams that, looking to get that jump-starting kick, maybe heading into the summer months. This would be the way to start it with a division foe. But 2 pitchers, Jeff, not giving up a lot here. What's going to give in this one?
I don't think a lot. I mean, you look at yesterday's game, 9 hits combined, 3-2 final. I got to tell you, Donnie, I think we see a similar game to this one. St. Louis has struggled against left-handers, hitting just 209. And look, Donnie, I mean, we get on John Lester once in a while for his inability to throw to first base and things like that, but it doesn't really ever cost him in games, honestly, unless he's facing a Billy Hamilton or a D. Gordon, someone like that. But again, this struggling Cubs team against right-handers is interesting. Both lineups just kind of struggling against their foes. Michael Leake has been fantastic. .68 whip on the road. John Lester, a .875 whip at home. Donnie, you know what this game reminds me of? And I know you talk about it all the time. You don't like unders, but I bet an under this week involving Robbie Ray and Ivan Nova. Very similar situation. Both teams struggling against their foes, issues against lefties, issues on the road, whatever. I think these pitchers kind of rule the roost today. I think this is a low-scoring kind of back-and-forth pitchers duel. Bullpens will be fine at the end. I think at most we see 7 runs in this game. I just don't see I just don't see 9 runs here. But
yeah, and my favorite thing backing John Lester, it seems that, I don't know why more pitchers, Jeff, don't go about John Lester. Don't even worry about a guy on first base. Don't throw over to first base. Don't even care about a base runner. And it's reverse psychology, because if you don't worry about the base runner, he can take a lead of 60 feet, only having to go 90 feet and doesn't steal. I think he's on to something here, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And again, it doesn't cost him particularly often, Donnie, does it? I mean, it's not
it baffles me. If I was a manager, every single person who got to first base would be automatic stealing on the first pitch. He doesn't throw to first base. Why are you not taking a lead of 30 feet? He's not going to throw to first base.
No, I hear you. One thing I will say with the bag, one more thing about him. I do not agree with your betting style, Bag. We need to switch that up a little bit. Parlays are for suckers, and I don't think you're a sucker, so we need to stop with parlays. We all know my stance, Donnie, on 3-team parlays, don't we?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my whole philosophy is, hey, if you want to have 3-team parlays, I'll be your bookie. No problem at all.
Right. Amen. Good. Lift the cup. Cheers to that, Donnie.
Yeah, amen. Next up on the docket, but yeah, we agree. This St. Louis Chicago game not setting up for a normal Wrigley Field battle. Let's keep it moving down the line. Let's take a deep breath here, Jeff. We have Johnny Cueto on the mound against the 27 Yankees lineup, the Philadelphia Phillies. It's going to be Cueto and Lively today. We actually brought somebody up from AAA who might have a pulse here. Rotation 905, 906. 80% of the wagers here, Jeff, are backing the San Francisco Giants. That means there are 20% morons out there in the country backing the Phillies. 8.5 is the total, pretty much across the board. Some 8s are popping up. Minus 150 for Cueto, sticking around that same territory. Minus 154. Your typical game yesterday, Jeff. It's funny because you get nothing out of the Phillies. Like, if you want to take an over, you almost have to look at it, Jeff. If the Phillies get you 1 run, that's a bonus. 10-0 final yesterday. San Francisco gets the over all by themselves. It was a runaway from the beginning. The Phillies are the most embarrassing team in Major League Baseball. Rudderless, as I always say, in the middle of the ocean. What gives in this one, Jeff? Maybe Lively comes up. Let's just say, Jeff, Lively comes up and gives you 8 innings of perfect baseball where nobody gets on base, strikes everybody out, then he comes out of the game in the 9th. The Phillies lost. So I don't. If you're backing the Phillies, Jeff, I don't know.
Add me to the list of 20% morons, because I'm going to take the Phillies today, and I'm going to tell you why. Listen, at some point, they're going to win a game. At some point, they're going to win a game. I'm going to say it. And why not today? It's not like the Giants are any great shakes on the road. And I'll point out, go back to last night. You're right. Blatch was great. Eichhoff was bad, just like we all predicted. Blatch is good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Blatch is really their best pitcher right now. But you look at Lively, Donnie, 37 starts down in the minor leagues, 28 with AAA, 9 with AA, 24-6 with a 2.62 ERA, just 7 walks this year in 56 innings. He's been very good as far as K rate. He's a guy that I think this is a great team to face in his first outing, Donnie. It really is. I mean, the Giants aren't a particularly strong lineup. They don't have a group that I'm really worried about facing. Again, they could hit him up here and he could be dead money. You're right. But you look at Cueto, Giants 10-19 on the road. Cueto, he's had a poor year, Donnie. I mean, what else do you say about Johnny Cueto? He has over a 5 ERA on the road. His numbers in his career against the Phillies aren't good. Now, I know you're going to say, well, against good Phillies teams, you're right. But you look at the last 2 starts against the Phillies, 10 earned runs in 13 innings. I just think this game is a little wacky. Again, my money might go away, but in this business, Donnie, sometimes you got to go with a spot that makes sense. I do think the Phillies will win today. I really do. And I've hated the Phillies. I can't stand this team. I don't want to put money on bad teams, but I'm on this show to give a pick for every game. I don't want to bet on the Giants today. I'm sorry. I might look real stupid at the end of the night and big man's stupid. He bet on the Phillies, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I actually think Lively will pitch well today. I'm going to go with the Phillies on the first 5 plus the money line. I'm going to hope they had the lead here. I think they'll score a couple off Cueto. Bullpen might blow up, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go Phillies first 5 here, Donnie.
I'll raise a glass to you because, a little bit later in the day, I'm going to be in the city at a family party right around the time that game starts there. You know what, Jeff? As soon as I get there, I'm going to tell them to pour me something strong. I'm going to raise it up, look at the Comcast building and go, my man, Jeff, good luck today. Because I understand. I'm a contrarian bettor. You know me, Jeff. We talk all the time. Where's the money going? The money tells you in this situation, 21% are betting the Phillies. 45% of the money's on the Phillies. This should be a Phillies line here. I just can't. And again, Jeff, if we were getting 3, 4, 5 runs out of the Phillies daily, I agree with you there because one of the toughest things to project, the decent pitcher coming up from AAA who the other team hasn't seen yet, maybe 2, 3 times through the rotation, he might fool them a little bit. They haven't gotten around. I completely agree with your philosophy. But the Phillies at the plate are so bad, I don't know if they can make anybody pay out there. That's my only issue with that one.
Yeah, listen, again, we need to get to the realization that the Phillies are not going to lose every game to the end of the year. I mean, they're going to win, 1 out of 5. Again, they're not going to win 60 games probably, but I just think this is a good spot. I'm sorry. I'll take a shot in front of the home crowd. Again, there probably won't be many people there, but maybe they'll come out to watch Lively. I know a lot of people are excited about this kid. He's one of the better pitchers down there, and I think he's going to pitch well. I think finally we're going to get something right going with the Phillies. Donnie, I got to ask you, are you going to South Philly or Center City?
Center City, I'll be in.
Okay, cool, nice. So you'll be right near the Comcast building. So yes, please, if you see me up on the 8th floor, I might be looking.
But at the end of the first inning, you might be on the Ben Franklin Bridge. So yes, I might have to stop.
No, I actually might make it a. I might just go to the Comcast building. It's a little bit higher, so maybe I'll just do that. I don't know.
Next up on the docket, again, you folks know I love bashing all my Phillies. They're my home team here, but
Donnie,
it's just wrong.
You bitch at this team because they don't bring anyone up, and then they bring someone up, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to still back them."
Yeah, but it's not. Ben Lively's not their. What was he, like a 25th round pick? And he has pitched well in there. I'm not worried about the pitching staff as is. They're going to get beat around, but they have kids in the minor leagues like Scott Kingery's a second baseman. Jeff just hit his 17th home run on the season. He hit 10 home runs last month, hitting 325. Not enough seasoning there. Rhys Hoskins at first base hit over 300 last month with 10 or 13 home runs, whatever he had. Can't really bring him up yet. The problem I have with the Philadelphia Phillies is they can't score runs, but everybody is raking at AAA and AA. That's the issue I have with them. Not the pitching.
I hear you.
Next up on the docket, 4:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Rich Hill, Matt Garza, 907, 908 on the rotation. 40% of the tickets coming in currently here on the home team with the Milwaukee Brewers. Tough loss from last night. They battled hard with Clayton Kershaw, but extra inning loss for them there. Opened up 8.5 is the total, Jeff. Looks like we're about 9 across the board here. Heavy favorite for Rich Hill here. Opened up at -150, sticking around -153 on the early indicators there, but about a 50-50 split. However, in money particulars on the game, Rich Hill, 2 road starts this year, Jeff. Very good for the lefty, 1.80 ERA. Garza, 4 home starts, 4.91 ERA. Last 3 starts have even been worse. 5.82 ERA. Dodgers 11-5 during the day. Milwaukee 6-7 versus left-handed pitching. So back-to-back lefties. Milwaukee's going to see. What do we think happens here, Jeff?
I think we see a lot of the same stuff from the Dodgers. I mean, they didn't cover the run line last night, but they won the game. And again, I mean, the Brewers struck out 26 times, Donnie. They were 28th yesterday going into the game in strikeouts per game. They're now 29. So they moved the needle and went even lower striking out. This team has major problems. They're striking out a ton. But then I wonder, I mean, is Rich Hill going to be the guy that can continue that? Garza's back to being the old Garza. I wonder, is he back to that whole shtick? Because his last outing, he wasn't very good against the Mets. Rich Hill's been good in all his road starts this year. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not betting against the Dodgers, but in this game, I don't know that I'll bet on them. This might be a game where I'll just kind of stay away. I don't really want to lay 155 at Rich Hill on the road. I think the Dodgers will indeed win, but I have much on this one.
Yeah, powerful. I mean, you're going from, I know it's back-to-back lefties there, but 2 completely different pitching philosophies out of Rich Hill and Clayton Kershaw. We'll see if that does come down. I don't really know if I'll be leaning towards something of a 9 in that situation. Again, not 2 great pitchers, but Rich Hill does have a tendency to keep the ball down. We'll see what happens in that one. I don't have much behind it, but I'm not going to lay 153 with Rich Hill on the road.
I mean, this Dodgers team, Donnie, last 3 games can't hit a paper, can't hit out of a paper bag. I mean, but you look at opponents, 229 against the Dodgers. I mean, it's a weird. Jimmy Nelson, I feel bad for him. He pitched great last night, and they lose the game. It goes 8 innings, and this moron comes in and gives up a home run in the 9th inning. Rough beat there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Next up on the rotation, 9:09, 9:10. We have an afternoon ball game, 1 o'clock start out there on the West Coast. Chatwood and Chaseen, 79% of the early betting public, Jeff, you're backing the Colorado Rockies. Line opened up as a favorite for the Rockies, -115. That has since been bet down a little bit. Sportsbook.com offering up a -110 as a slight favorite for Colorado. Opened up at 8. Looks like some 7.5s are popping their way through. Depending on what sports book that you're shopping around with. High-scoring game last night between San Diego and Colorado. We'll see if that continues today. But a tale of home and away pitchers here that we're going to take a look at, especially for the home team here. Chatwood's been great, Jeff. Away from Coors Field, 5 road starts, 3.06 ERA. Now, German Marquez last night for Colorado had some similar numbers, even better numbers there on the road, and he got touched up a little bit last night. So we'll see what happens with Chatwood today. If we're taking a look at Chaseen, Jeff, 4 home starts for Chaseen. 0.67 ERA. Last 3 starts, however, including some games on the road, in 8.25 ERA. The Mets and the Nationals touched him up pretty good. Colorado 19-10 now on the road after the loss last night. San Diego shows a little bit more value at home, 13-14. The overwhelming majority of those games, Jeff, have been underdogs here. So something's got to give between these pitchers. Chaseen continue his home dominance there. Very low line, so a little bit sneaky suspicion there. One would think that San Diego might be in play here.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Chaseen, I mean, just a total 180 on the road as opposed to home. But you look at the teams he's faced, I mean, kind of impressive. Milwaukee, Dodgers, Arizona, and the Giants. So, at least 3 of those teams, pretty decent lineups for the most part. Yeah, he's been good at home. But the problem I have here is, I'm not getting anything. When I bet the Padres, I want to get something back at least. And I'm not. How about last night, Donnie? You take German Marquez and the Rockies. They got 4-0. You're thinking, perfect. I mean, how about this? I'm like a pig drenched in mud. I mean, I'm feeling great right now. And then they give it up and end up losing big. The Padres are playing well right now. 5 in a row. Chaseen's been good. Chatwood's not been particularly good this year against the Padres. Listen, I want to bet the Padres here, but then I don't just because there's no value. I get a weird feeling, Donnie, that Chaseen gives up some runs today. I don't know why. Just kind of like Marquez. Everyone was all high on Marquez. Then he comes in and gets crushed. So, yeah, I don't know. Coin flip, I'll pass.
Yeah, it's one of those, again, 21% of the tickets coming in backing 28% of the money with that line going a little bit reverse. That's what I like to look for in a home team here. So, to me, just looking I don't care about pitching matchups or anything, just looking at the line and the way the movement goes, one would think San Diego's to play here. We'll see what happens. That's going to get started earlier in the day. Next up on the docket here, the knuckleball. Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Opponents are hitting 132 at home against just seen. I mean,
he's been amazing. That's an amazing 4 starts and under almost a half a run a game. Especially, Jeff, we're not even talking about like Clayton Kershaw where like you have the pedigree. We're talking about a guy that gets lit on the road, but as soon as he goes back to Petco, he's Cy Young out there. It's amazing.
I mean, his home record, 4-0, 2 earned runs. He's given up just 1 home run, 21 strikeouts, just a .70 whip. Really, really impressive. This will be interesting to see today. This will be a good benchmark for him. I mean, at home against probably one of the better lineups in the NL. So, yeah, this will be fun.
Yep. 9-11, 9-12 on the rotation today. We're going to move it over to Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark. R.A. Dickey on the mound versus Scott Feldman. 63% of the tickets currently coming in from the public, backing the home team, Cincinnati Reds. If you take a look at some lines here, Jeff, opened up at 9.5, quickly bet to 10, and some 10.5s are on the board. That is just amazing to me. -149, favorite for Feldman, opened up at Pinnacle. Since been bet a little bit higher. Chris has them now currently at 160. You would have thought last night, Jeff, Bronson Arroyo's on the mound. We're going to get some, Fultonavich, a good hitting Reds team, a lot lower scoring than most anticipated tonight, but Vegas not giving them any breaks here today, Jeff, hanging a 10.5 in some spots in particulars on this game. R.A. Dickey gives you what you get. I mean, it's outside of his like Cy Young year that he had, Jeff, 4 road starts, 5.32 ERA. It just seems like he hovers between 4 and 5 as an ERA. Feldman, 6 home starts. He's been okay, 3.53 ERA. Last 3 starts leaking a little bit of oil at 6.58. Atlanta, only 4-11 in day games. Cincinnati up to 15-13 after the extra inning win last night. Jeff, that's a high number, man. We're hanging out there today, buddy.
Yeah, I yesterday picked every game in the contest. Every game. I had
How do we do? What do we do out there?
I was like, I think I was like two games under 500. Like it was it was sucked because one of my fucking picks is Atlanta. They go up 2-0 the whole game, and of course they blow it. Atlanta is a brutal team to bet on. I mean, they're just so bad. Their defense sucks. Their bullpen's a fucking joke. They don't.
Markakis is like a 3-hole hitter now, so yeah, it's tough for them there, man.
You look at this team. I'll tell you what. If you like overs, just stick to the NL East. I mean, you're going to make a ton of money betting on overs in the NL East. I mean, the Mets, the Braves.
Jeff, talk about the NL East, by the way. Can Washington just like go on vacation for the next couple of months? It's over. It's over in the NL East.
Washington, I think at the end of July could probably not play another game and they'll be fine. I mean, why worry? Why risk injury, I guess? Be like the soccer teams over in Europe. I mean, give your team 2 weeks
off. Park the bus,
man.
Just park it. Yeah,
put all these backups in the whole game for 2 weeks straight. I mean, Atlanta 31-20 to the over this year. Feldman's just been horrible lately. Almost 7 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's only going about 4 2/3. You're going to see that Cincinnati bullpen, I think, for long periods of time. Dickey, he's been an over pitcher. The point I want to make, though, Dickey, this game's in Cincinnati, 82 degrees and sunny today. Might even get up closer to 90 by game time. So that's knuckleball should be effective today. But I can't bet on the Braves. This is a pass for me. If this was 9, I would go over, but at 10.5, I mean, the value's gone. I think it's crazy. That one. Yeah. Real quick, I think it's crazy Scott Feldman's laying 150. I got to tell you, if you have to take a side here, take Atlanta first 5. I mean, avoid that bullpen. Maybe that Dickey knuckle will be good today. But, yeah, as far as that, I don't have much on this.
Yeah, it's a tough game there. I mean, that's extreme. Again, usually we like to say the smartest man in the room is the guy that sets the line. So obviously if that line opened up at 9.5 and now it's back to 10.5, Jeff, that means you got to get 11 runs outside of Coors Field, outside of the American League to win that one. It's all about betting value. I don't care if the game ends up 14-13. I just can't see that much value or backing.
I feel like this game's like going to be the least bet game of the day.
It could. I mean, it could be. I'll tell you the next interesting one. Here's a game, and this game just gets me excited. Anything with the Mets gets me excited. Like yesterday, I was very close to taking the Mets over with Harvey and Cole on the mound yesterday. Ended up scorching, heading right over. And I just shake my head. Like I just open up and say, all right, let's get to see the first look at the pitching matchups, Jeff. And I see Glass now and Gisselman on the mound. And I just like get excited. I put the check mark next to the game. Like I don't even look at anything else. I'm like, all right, that's going to be one we're really going to take a look at here. 38% of the tickets coming in on the road team here, Pittsburgh. So 62% of the public is a big fan of the G-Man on the mound today. -130, he opens up, Jeff. He's sitting at -137 at Chris. A nice favorite for Gisselman today on the mound versus Glass. Now opened up at 9 as an over-under. Looks like it's sticking around 9 throughout the board here today, Jeff. Some particulars, you might want to poke your eyes out with a hot knife. Glass now 4 road starts, 7.45 ERA, a 1.8 whip. Traffic on the bases, can't get anybody out. Mets lit him up in his last start. Gesellman, 6 home starts, 4.76. Actually seems masterful the way, most would watch the way he pitches. Pittsburgh, 7-1 on a Saturday. The New York Mets, 23-30 now on the year after taking the loss last night. But I got to tell you, Jeff, capping these two guys to see who's going to get who out or what can happen today, good luck out there, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, where do you start with this game? And Donnie, I want you to clap for me for a second. So it was about 1:45 in the morning last night. I went and got a haircut. I did my normal.
Wait a second. Wait, what? 1:45?
Well, I went at like 12.
What kind of hours is Barber keeping out there?
It was about 12:30, let's say. Right. But I went and did stuff after I got home, and it was like late. So as I do, I was looking on the looking at the lines, and I see 8.5 for Mets and Pirates. I'm just like, Glass now, Gesellman. I'll bet that. Fuck it. I mean, what?
Yeah, like now you don't even care who's in the lineup, and you say if that loses, so oh well. But that's.
I mean, Peter Loshak always says this, and it's a great point by him. If I like it now, why wouldn't I like it tomorrow? I mean, what's going to happen in 6 hours?
What is Lucas Duda going to sit out? And you're like, I'm out.
And now it's like, if it's 4-4, I'm a winner. If it's 4-4-9, I'm not a winner. So, yeah, I don't think it'll matter. I mean, you look at these teams. I mean, Donnie, I got to talk about some of these trends, man. It's amazing. You look at night games involving the Mets this year, 28-5 to the over against teams with losing records for the Mets. 20-3 to the over. I mean, that's amazing, man. I mean, that's just
that's why I kept going back to the graveyard last week with the Mets repeatedly, because something just doesn't give. It's not even numbers. Like, you look at the Mets lineup, it's not like, holy cow, like 1 through 8, they're just amazing. Or you look at their bullpen and you say, like, they have a 9 ERA. Something with Mets games just, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you look at the Pirates on the road. I mean, they haven't been a particularly good group as far as pitching. Donnie, Gesellman, right-handers are hitting 336 against him this year. He's also off a good start, so you have a feeling after that start, I mean, he's not going to be particularly good here. His 9 games this year, 8-1 to the over, a 6.8 ERA. Glass now, 4 road starts, an ERA over 7. I mean, Donnie, one thing we've learned from the Mets this year, when it looks too good to be true, it normally goes like that. I mean, what else do you say about it? I'm going to go over. 10 of 15 in this series have gone over. I got it 8.5, so I'm feeling pretty good. And, I'm not like all these other shithead touts that will put out a plate at 1:45 a.m. and say, hey, everyone, get on this. Then everyone wakes up in the morning and it's 9. I'm not that kind of dickhead. I'm not going to do it. So I bet at 8.5. I'll tell everyone out there at 9. I still think it's a very good play. I'm going to just recommend, why not everyone just get on this play? We've all made money on betting against Gesellman. We've all made money betting against Mr. Glass now. I got to go with it. Someone's asking me, Big Man, is that the Trap House Barbershop? No, it's not a Trap House Barbershop, but my barber, he showed me his tax returns. He makes a lot of money. That's why. He's a hard worker, like myself, and I like other hard working people.
Amish out there?
No. I live in the city, Donnie. We don't live near no Amish. But I want to tell you a story. I hate sitting in vulnerable spots. I hate the movie theater. I don't like parked cars. Barbershop is a very vulnerable point for anyone. You have your eyes closed. You're getting your hair cut. Someone walks in. Who the hell knows? I go to the barbershop. The door's locked. I'm the only one in there. That's how I like to get my hair cut. So
who's coming? What are the haters coming after you, Jeff?
No, I don't know. I don't know who. Maybe they're coming after someone in the barbershop. The barbershop is a vile place at times in where I'm at. So who the hell knows? Out here, Donnie, where I live, barbershops.
We got to get you down to Costa Rica, man. Come on, we got to get you out of here. Witness protection.
Albert Anastasia, when he was in the mob, he got killed on the barbershop chair. Right? I'm just telling you. It's a vulnerable area, the barbershop. Just remember that. You never know. Someone might come in and try to look for someone else. You get caught in it. I don't want to be sitting in a barber chair when I'm doing that.
You never know, Jeff. Somebody watching the show, you gave out, the Yankees last night or whatever. You don't know who's coming after you for that one. So, yeah, I agree.
Right. Exactly. Next
up on the docket here, we'll go Houston, Texas. 9-17, 9-18. Jeff, before we get into this game, let's talk about the game last night. How many times have we seen it? Over under in that one, I believe, opened up somewhere around like 7.5 and mysteriously bet to 8 and 8.5 as the day went on yesterday. One real interesting point of view that we always take with Houston, Jeff, it's not really what they do in the first 5 innings, which they got 3 runs in the top of the 5th. They are just, I mean, you can set your clock or set your watch to them pounding out a 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning where they put up crooked numbers repeatedly. Did it again last night. The game ends up 7-1, but that late surge by Houston, if they can get through your starting pitcher, even if they don't touch him up, it's coming late in the innings, Jeff. They're amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is another funny story about the barbershop last night. I got to tell you this story, Donnie. You'll get a kick out of this. So at my barbershop, there are 3 barbers. One is my barber, and he's like the manager. The other 2 barbers only cut during the day because they're in prison at night and they get work release, right? And where I'm at, the county prison is literally 2 blocks away. So one of the barbershops who I'm cool with, he gets locked up. During the day, he comes out. He cuts from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., goes back in the barbershop, right? Or back into prison. So during the day, we got a corner spot, like a bodega that takes action. So he puts in a big parlay last night. He leaded the Astros to hit. I think he bet like $20. He won like $2,000. It was a huge ticket. So he puts it in. I see the ticket. I have a picture on my phone. I can show everybody. He leaves the ticket in his station. I'm getting my hair cut. A call comes in. This is a direct county call from the Lancaster County Prison. Yo, what's the score of the Astros game?
That's good.
We say 3-0. Thanks. He hangs up. So I don't think he knew what happened until today, but he's a happy man today. He can buy all sorts of ring dings and Cheetos with all his
commissary's
money.
Loaded up for him now.
The commissary's loaded. He can hit the vending machines or do what he's got to do. And it was a great story. So, yes, he is happy the Astros won, but you're right. This team is firing right now. They're on all cylinders. They've been great on the road. Last 8 games, 8-0, 69 runs, 8.63 runs per game. Donnie, regression's coming for our friend Andrew Kashner. I have a feeling it might be today. Yeah, Astros look good maybe in a 2-team parlay with another, heavily, another team maybe you like. Parlay them together, get a plus money price back. 170 is a little high for me, but I think the Astros will win today.
Yeah, I mean, McCullough's one of my favorite pitchers in baseball there. We talk about it all the time. 11 games, 2.48 ERA. Last 3 even better at 1.06. How do you beat your division up, Jeff? How do you run away with the division, beat your division bad? 18-6 Houston is. Overall, just clearly at this point right now, they are the best team in baseball, the best hitting lineup, getting pitching. And we talk about this, Jeff, nonstop. They're only going to add at the deadline. So watch out for the Astros. Built the organization the right way, and they're about to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, they really have. And Correa and Springer and Altuve. I actually heard Texas Ranger fans, talking about Odor's better than Altuve. I've actually heard that going around, Donnie.
Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
Amazing. But yeah, this team is really good right now. And I think they're going to give it a little back after, Texas controlled them for so many years. I think it's time to kind of move on. Astros, I think they get the job done here. I think they might sweep them this week.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Next up on the docket, Jeff, interesting scenario last night, 4-0 win. Very nice win. Vargas, unbeatable at home, shutout 4-0. Kansas City over Cleveland. Today we're going to go back there with Hamill and Carrasco. 6,900 tickets tracked. 84% of that number is betting currently for the Cleveland Indians. Opened up at -173, bet up a little bit higher. If you're looking at Chris, it's -185 total in this game, Jeff. 8.5 opened, 8.5 pretty much across the board here. Not much betting action coming in on the Royals. Particulars in this game, Carrasco 10 starts, 2.89 ERA. And Hamill's, if you watch it, or I always say Hamill, if you've watched him this year, he doesn't have much left in the tank. 6.18 ERA. Cleveland 16-11 in the road. Kansas City 14-13 after the win last night. It's a high number, I get it. And I'm not laying that much on the road, but backing Jason Hamill right now is really a tough proposition here, Jeff.
No, it is. He's really been a totally different pitcher than he was last year. But you look at moving teams like Bartolo Colon did. Jason Hamill on a bad team with a bad bullpen. He's getting into bad situations, and he's been poor. I mean, what else do you say? Cleveland, Donnie, been very effective on the road. Bullpen's been fantastic, one of the best in baseball. Carrasco's been very good as well. When he pitches, they're 8-2. I'm going to tell you right now, Donnie, again, these can be very square, but I think Astros-Indians parlay looks pretty damn good to me. Hamill stinks. I don't think he's going to shut this team down by any means. And the Cleveland Indians aren't facing a lefty. So for me, I don't normally do this on the show, but I'll go Indians Astros. Parlay them together, you get plus money back. I don't know that I see those two teams losing, but again, it is very square, that parlay. But yeah, Indians have been good on the road, and that bullpen's fantastic.
Yeah. Pinball score in the next game we're going to look at here, Jeff. Afternoon affair. We're heading to Detroit. That's going to be the White Sox and the Tigers. Gonzalez versus Zimmerman. 66% of the public are actually backing my boy, Jordan Zimmerman here. Minus 130 opened up right around the same way. Minus 131 at sportsbook.com. Over under, Jeff, opens at 10. Currently sitting at 10. Last night, I mean, Detroit couldn't get enough at bats last night. They might have hung 40 if they just, stayed involved in that game. It was just ridiculous. Might get more of the same today. Gonzalez road starts 5.20 ERA. Zimmerman, Jeff, all along I've been talking about it. He's just a shot fighter right now. If he has a good game, he sort of slips into it as opposed to being an effective pitching performance. Chicago White Sox 13-22 versus right-handed pitching. We've talked about that all year. Detroit 18-23. I can't lay my money. I'm not really a big fan of Gonzalez, just the way he pitches. A little softer pitcher, more, massaging the plate as opposed to being a power pitcher. But Zimmerman right now, Jordan Zimmerman, I can't back him. I don't care if that's a short line. The Detroit bats come to play today. I'm not interested in this ball game. If the line was 9.5, I might be looking at the over. But again, that 10 number really sticks out, which makes it not as much value as I need to be for playing a total either. What are your thoughts here, Jeff?
Yeah, by the way, Yordano Ventura's birthday's today, so rest in peace to him. Great pitcher, gone way too early. Rest in peace to him. Just a good point by Guan White pointing that out. Yeah, Zimmerman's been, he's been a total mess. We've highlighted him being possibly one of the worst big signings in baseball history. Zimmerman is got one of the worst ERAs as far as qualified starters in the major leagues. His whip is very high. Left-handers hitting 330.
Yeah, it's
Jordan
crazy.
Zimmerman. You'd expect the Chicago White Sox to put some lefties in there today. Opponents hitting 308 overall against Jordan Zimmerman. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Miguel Gonzalez either. He's a guy that's a very middle of the road pitcher in the major leagues, kind of like like you mentioned, R.A. Dickey or Wei-Yin Chen, going to give up 4 or 5 runs. That's just what he does. Yeah, look, I hate that 10 number as well, but I think we see a pretty high scoring game here. Maybe look, I don't know, what's the Tiger or the White Sox team total, Donnie?
I actually don't have that, but I would assume if it's 10, they're probably going to be hanging like a 4.5 yeah.
I think if you can get, I'm going to look it up right now. If you can get 4.5, I don't know, take a shot with the White Sox. I mean, that bullpen, I would think will give up some runs. And we know.
I would actually look, I like to press it on first fives on that, because I'm strictly, if I'm the White Sox, I'm betting against Zimmerman in the situation. What are you looking at, Jeff? Maybe an over-under with 2, maybe first 5? They should be able to get that.
But you're going to have to lay 165 on that. So,
is that how much it is? Yeah, I didn't think it was that much. Okay.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think that over first 5, maybe 5.5. I think we see I don't know. I think this is like a 4-3 game after 5, something like that. But I might just hold my nose and go over. That would be the play I'd recommend for the game. I won't be betting it, but we should see some fireworks today in this one.
Yeah, no, I had that one circled as a total. I'm going to see if any line movement changed in that, but that's a 4 o'clock start. Yeah, what's up, man?
One quick thing. I do like what hotcapper.com. I love what these guys have to say. I do play my own games. We're here to provide information. We're trying to throw out a stat maybe you haven't heard, or kind of maybe do a little bit of work for you. No one's telling you to bet what we're doing. We're just here. We love breaking down the games. We got 146 people watching, Donnie. That's got to be near a record for SBR. Nice. We love talking about the games. We love involving the guys here. Let's keep it going.
A lot of fun here. We got a couple more games to go over. Let's go to Boston and Baltimore, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:23, 9:24 on the rotation. It's going to be Price and Bundy today. Very light betting action so far in this one. Almost a 50-50 split from the public. Small favorite Price opens up, staying at a small favorite, minus 116 at 5dimes.com. 9 as the total opened up. Looks like it's been bet back a little bit there, Jeff. Getting a lot of 8.5s across the board here. Some particulars in this game. Price's first start, rusty. You can expect that. 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Bundy, Jeff, very good. 2.89 ERA over 10 starts. And at home, even a little bit better. 2.23 ERA. Boston 12-15 on the road. Baltimore, after the win yesterday, moves to 19-8. Jeff, sometimes the hardest thing for a bettor to do is take your eyes out of the situation and just start looking at some numbers, because when you just hear the name Boston and you see the Boston Red Sox, you expect them to hit. But this is not the same lineup that they put on the field over the past couple of years here.
No, it isn't. And, the big, obviously glaring miss is David Ortiz. I mean, this guy was so good last year. He's had such a great career. Dustin Pedroia has been injured a lot. You talk about a guy, Donnie, we've mentioned guys that kill you. Dustin Pedroia, he's always killed me throughout my betting career. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, this isn't that same group. They're still very good from a stat perspective, but, overall their power's just not there. Bundy's been good lately, and particularly at home. The problem with Bundy is he just gives it too many home runs. He's going to have to fix that. But Peter Loshek said it best. At home, I'm getting Baltimore at an underdog price. I've made that clear all year. I like that. I'll continue to do it. Price, I'm just not. I think he's just kind of lost his luster overall. I'm not a big fan of him. And the Baltimore Orioles are 19-8 at home, Donnie. With Alec Asher last night, they were able to get a win. Boston's just not hitting. Right now, I'd go with the Orioles.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't. It's never a bad bet when you have Baltimore at home there, especially at a price like that. They've seen Price. Not going to be any surprises there for him. So we'll see what happens in that situation.
I wouldn't say Bundy's elite. He's very good right now, but I mean, he's giving up too many home runs. He's got to cut down on that. But this should be a good lineup.
He's had some good. He tripped up a little bit there for a game or two, but it looks like his last two starts, he's pretty much back on point. And again, his home is his savior. And again, you can't argue with what Baltimore does at home. All they do is
hitters. It'll be good to see him against this group. Donnie, I do want to point out, I'm going to be on the soccer show with Natalie coming up at 1:45 Eastern. So if you want my Champions League play, come on over right after our show. Hear me on Natalie's show. So I want all you guys. Get out of this room when we're done. Head on over there. We're doing minute bets over there. So we don't have to do that on this show, Donnie.
You got it, man. 3 games left on the docket here. Night game out West Coast. And again, just waking up this morning, seeing these late night scores off the charts there. Let's see if it happens again today. One would think it wouldn't with this pitcher on the mound, Irvin Santana of the Minnesota Twins and the LA Angels. Matt Shoemaker, 78% are backing Minnesota here on the road. That's not a surprise. One of my favorite stories of the year has been Minnesota on the road. Total opened up at 7.5, has since been bet to 8. -110, the overnight line at Pinnacle opened up in the favor of Matt Shoemaker. Has since been bet to a favorite here for Santana, -116 at Chris. Looks like across the board, right around that range. Greeks at -110. So give or take to see what you have. But certainly the money and the tickets are backing Irvin Santana and the correct line movement going with them also as well. 11 starts, Jeff. American League pitcher here, 1.75 ERA. 4 road starts, 0.31 ERA. That's just absolutely sensational. And again, this is a guy, Jeff, who you say, okay, road game. He's used to pitching in Anaheim, been there a long time, obviously coming over to the Twins now. Shoemaker, 5 home starts, hasn't been very good, 5.21. Those Minnesota bats are hot. And again, think of the Twins, Jeff. The Twins, 16-5 on the road. Amazing here.
Yeah, and Mike Trout's out. So, I mean, it makes it even better for Irvin Santana. Matt Shoemaker has been not great, but, at home, 271 opponents are hitting. You look at away, 213. So, he's been not good at home. And, yeah, this is an interesting game. You look at that line, Donnie, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? But Minnesota, you look at over the last 7 games, Donnie, opponents 320 against this group. Irvin Santana is going to have to go deep into this game, and he's been doing that. So, yeah, I won't disagree with anything you said. Total looks – at 8, I mean, with the way Irvin Santana, I mean, Donnie, you're not going to get more dominating numbers. Irvin Santana, you mentioned 4 road starts, 0.31.
That's it. That's ridiculous. That's one of the most ridiculous stats I've seen. And again, Jeff, he's not going like, oh, let's pull him after 5. Like he's going damn near 8 innings each time he gets a road start.
Yeah, and you look at his actual numbers, 29 innings, 1 earned run. I mean, that's amazing. I mean,
it's American League too. That's not like you're rolling through the National League with pitchers and all that. That's an American League ERA. That's
in 11 games, I just want to make this clear. In 11 games, his WHIP is 0.84. I mean, that there's not even people on base, let alone. And that I'm going to guarantee. I don't know exactly, but that 1 run was probably a solo home run. So it would be very possible that over 29 innings, he didn't give up a run. As far as not even base hits and things like that. It's just been it's amazing, man. 109 opponents are hitting on Irvin Santana away from target field. Just dominating stuff.
No, it should be a fun one to watch. I mean, I don't even know if it's a fun one to watch because I don't even know if the Angels, are going to be able to put up too much action in that one. But we'll keep it moving there. Tampa Bay, Seattle, Cobb, and Gavilio. Only 1,600 tickets tracked in this one, so very light betting. Almost a 50-50 split here. -110, Cobb opens up. Hanging around that same level, -106, -107, -109 at 5dimes.com. Total opens up at 8.5. Has since been bet to 9. Last night, right away in the first inning, Seattle jumps up 5-0 on Tampa Bay. I know a lot of people were looking at Odorizzi last night as maybe a nice spot to be in. Maybe Nelson Cruz would be out. Segura missed that game, but not to be. They lit Tampa Bay up. So if we take a look at some particulars here, Cobb, again, seems like a lot of these Tampa Bay pitchers have the same sort of scenario. 11 starts, 3.67 ERA. Gavilio's 3 starts, 3.37 ERA. The only time he was tripped up was at Coors Field. Tampa Bay 13-15 on the road. Seattle improves to 15-10 on the road. Is this a spot where you could back Gavilio here, Jeff?
Seattle's beginning to be a team at home, Donnie, that I'm not looking to fade. I mean, they've been really good on in their ballpark. Interesting, cool kind of ballpark there. They're murdering the ball lately. So is Tampa Bay. I got to be honest. I think we see another high-scoring game here. I don't know that I trust Gaviglio, and Alex Cobb is very average as well. So short and sweet, I would probably think over here.
Yeah, tough one in that situation. Next game I have circled a little bit here, Jeff. It's an afternoon game. It's going to be Ross and Mengden on the mound. Excuse me.
Your boy, not a lot of talk about your boy Triggs last night, Donnie. What happened there?
Triggs got hung out to dry. Jeff, he doesn't get any support. He's pitching out there all by himself. He's got the weight of Oakland on his shoulders, knowing everybody's watching the NBA Finals. He just feels the pressure, man. He's feeling it.
Yeah, he faces a good lineup, and look what happens. He gets absolutely crushed.
They got run out of the building last night, man. Talk about value at home on Oakland. Good grief.
It's 3 2/3. He gives up 6 earned runs. Quality stuff, Andrew Triggs. Good.
No, it wasn't even good. Even when they tied it up, made it 2-2. You're like, oh, Triggs going to get back into it. Nah, that was pretty short-lived. So, yeah.
Right.
That was right there.
Ross and Mengden. Right. Good point. That was funny.
Ross and Mengden are going to go on the mound tonight, Jeff. So, I mean, we're looking at maybe some scores here. 82% of the public here, Jeff, backing the Nationals on the road. Over-under opens at 9 here with Pinnacle. Pretty much 9 across the board. Some 9.5s are showing up with some light juice action. That one, if you get to the particulars here, Ross's 5 starts, 6.18 ERA. Hasn't shown it this year. Hasn't really shown it in the past. Mengden's 1 start, 3 1/3, 5 earned runs for his Cleveland. If you look down his timeline as well, he's prone to giving up runs also. Washington 34-19 overall. Oakland 15-11 at home after the loss last night. Only one thing on my mind in this game, Jeff, depending on lineups, thinking about an over in this situation is probably the way to go. I don't really trust Ross, but the fact that he opens up at a -120 and it's pretty much, level across the board, kind of scary situation because Mengden doesn't bring that much to the table here.
Oakland is the play fade Washington. Yeah, Jim, that's worked so well this year, hasn't it? Listen, I mean, the Oakland Athletics are a much better offensive team at home, but listen, you're getting Joe Ross, you're getting the Nationals at even money, basically. Yeah, it is concerning, but I think at this number, I mean, I think the Washington Nationals are an auto play. You're getting this lineup against Daniel Mengden. Not Triggs, not Sonny Gray. Daniel Mengden. Daniel Mengden's first start, 3 1/3, 5 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 home runs. Quality stuff against the Cleveland Indians. This lineup's even better. The Washington Nationals are probably the best lineup in baseball, maybe other than Houston. Yeah, look, I'll hold my nose and get fucked up the ass if I lose, but yeah, I'm gonna go. I'd go Washington here, just from the sheer value of that number with the way Joe Ross gets runs for 13 runs is a game. Amazing.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that too. You're right about that. I was harping on that last week on that.
Last 7 for Oakland, 196 average. They strike out a lot. Washington even money's the play, I think.
Yeah, not a great lineup here for the Nationals as it came out. You got, the normal guys, Trey Turner, Worth, Murphy, and Zimmerman. After that, you're going Lynn, Taylor, Drew, Lobaton, and Goodwin. So not really an A-plus lineup there.
Michael Taylor's been pretty good this year, and Lynn can get a hold of one. But yeah, Goodwin will fuck up in the field. That's something we can worry. So if you like,
that's actually good. Yeah, exactly. Forget about the guy at home. And again, what's the point? I like to bang on more than any in Major League Baseball. The damn Oakland A's are going to give you a run for free today, though. So that's going to be one that you can just tack on before the game even starts. Boop, 1-0 Washington, because they're going to make an error somewhere that's stupid.
Exactly. Donnie, I know there's a show coming up. We got to wrap it up here. We went through the whole baseball card. I want all of you, 145. I'm going to take a quick respite, 15 minutes. I'm going to get back here for the soccer show. I want all of you, 143, all of you, come on over. Give Natalie and the guys some support. They do great work on the soccer stuff. We have a huge game. The world is watching. Cardiff, Wales is going to be on absolute fucking fire, Donnie. Cardiff is the place to be today. Forza Juve. I'm going to talk about that on the next show. But I want all of you. I got a couple plays, Donnie, I'll throw out. I think with my plays I threw out yesterday, as far as best plays, I went 2-2. So let's be hopeful we can get a winning play here. I'm going to do a 2-team par. I'm going to be like our boy Jimmy the Bag. Astros and Indians. I'm going to parlay them together to get a plus money price back. Pirates, Mets over 9, and I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies first 5 with a nice plus money price. Let's have some fun today, Donnie. How about that? Donnie, any last words before we go?
No. We'll be back. Me and Jeff will be back together Monday night for the late night on campus. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully the weather's good where you're at. Cash those tickets in. Watch Jeff on the next show. But that'll do it for the right side of campus today, folks. Have a good day now.
NBA, we talked about it last night. Check it out Friday night, late night on campus.